welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about MegaHack V7.1 and what I like about it. I only have one specific thing that I had at least one type of thing. I had like one type of nitpick about. But we'll get to that later. Anyways, if you don't know what it is, MegaHack V7 is a it's a client for GD that allows you to, well, hack, but also it can help with useful features such as with the editor and also with, well, now, botting levels and showcasing them. I'm moving my cameras that week. But yeah, but what's so useful about botting, you might ask? Well, showcasing levels is a popular thing in the community, and if you want to get, and with this one in particular, I think that it's going to make botting a bit easier because the thing is a lot of the features that are in it now help with doing harder levels with the bugs that happen with other bots such as replay bot, which I've had a lot of frustration with recently because really it had a lot of bugs and that didn't have extra things. It didn't really have anything to help fix it, like for example, or to help with making sure that the bot doesn't fail. But with V7.1, it now does. It has things like frame steppers. It has, there's one feature where it shows, like, what your path would be if you, like, jumped at a certain point, or if you were to stop, like, trying to straight fly. Like, it actually has, like, points where it goes up or down, whether or not, if you hold or not. Showing those, I mean. And for hard timing challenges, maybe like third variant or something like that, that is extremely useful because you can actually see where your cube would go once you jump instead of having to guess when it is using frame stepper, which is also very useful. I tested the bot out myself. I did two levels. I did two levels. I did an easy one and then a relatively hard one. And then I tried out the screen recorder, and it actually worked pretty well. For some reason, even though one of my recordings was turned upside down, I think that's mainly because of how rapid I accidentally had to stop it. With the first level, it worked very well. It did what I wanted to, and it didn't bug out. I think the main reason that my other one failed, I think, was kind of on me, because the thing is, I kept struggling at that part specifically. But the thing is, it actually gives you it actually gives you the option to save instead of not knowing whether or not you only saved from that point. You can go into the bot and you can record from the part that you screwed up at and then save it as that, which, you know, I'm not probably going to use a lot because I don't really bot a lot of levels, but it could come in handy. With the screen recorder, you can set your own bit rate, you can set frames per second, and your quality. So yeah, if your PC can run it, you can finally do 4K recordings without actually having to use OBS. But why would you? But and just like a few other bots, such as Replay Bot, which allows you to record on the spot after you bought a level, it uses a software also made by Absolute called FFmpeg, which is pretty much what is used to record GD levels on the spot rather than just going into OBS and recording it. Which, you know, that's pretty useful though as far as it goes. Another really cool feature that if I was actually doing thumbnails still I would actually use, but I don't really do thumbnails because I don't really need to. You can find, when you take a screenshot, you can paste it into a program like Photoshop or something like that rather than having to go into the folder and then, you know, drag and get it in there, because you can just copy and paste it. That's a feature. It goes on your clipboard right after you take it. I don't really know what else there is to talk about. Um, another one of my favorite features is that now you can see the end screen of a level after you beat a level. So like, or like the end screen art, yeah. So like, take for example, oh, you beat Sonic Wave Infinity. There's a button that you can use that you can click to fold up the menu basically, and it just lets you look at the end screen without having the stupid uh, level completion sign or whatever. Which, you know, that's cool. Um, there is also a pitch shifter, like a thing so that way you don't get copyrighted whenever you. So that way you don't get copyrighted when um, uh, playing a level that has a copyrighted song, or if you're just streaming and your menu music has a copyrighted song, like me. Thanks, Virtual Riot, despite the fact that it's like one of your only free to download songs, I think. No, it isn't, but you know what I mean. um, uh, I'd say my only nitpick is the fact that that it is required by the replay part of the beta to to use MegaHack's bypass. For me, I wish that wasn't the case, and I wish it was interchangeable because I kind of prefer just not having screen tear now that I actually have a high refresh rate monitor. I didn't. I mean, the bot works. Works like a charm. It's just that I wish you could just record it at your. I just wish that you could do macros at your specific frame rate without needing to just go back. Because the thing is, I think anybody can do Koa at 165 Hz, which is the other level that I think which I think I failed to bot because of the thing screwing up. I'm about 58 or 53, I think. I think that's on me though, because I kind of struggled at getting that part because speed hack can be a little overbearing at times. Other than that, if you have Mega Hack, it's really worth it. Or if you're going to buy a Mega Hack and you need to ask someone for their thoughts on if it's worth it or not, I say it is definitely worth it. I mean, not just because of the I would recommend it if you're looking for the features I just talked about, like a built-in screen recorder. So, oh my god, I actually just realized that actually could be a better way of doing recordings. Without, or it could be, it's a way of doing recordings, but you also have a better chance of not having those recordings corrupted or interrupted or not recorded, because sometimes instant replay on NVIDIA or GeForce can screw up sometimes. And oh yeah, that kind of brings me to another kind of personal nitpick of mine. I don't really like how it renders and takes a bit, especially because you need to wait a bit in the game, because if you don't wait in the game and you just close it, I'm not sure if that is actually the case and you can just close it, but because it's in Mega Hack, I think you might have to leave the game open if you're recording a bunch of time, just recording a bunch of gameplay on GD. That's probably another thing, unless you're willing to wait it out. But I mean, it works fine though. Either maybe one day, the FFmpeg can be improved to be a faster rendering agent for itself, so that way it doesn't become much of a burden to record with it. It's what do you think? continuing back on what I meant about recommending it, it's a great program in general, but now that we have the features such as what I've been talking about for the last 10 minutes, I highly suggest getting it if you are able to get it. It's a very, I kind of say that the bot, combined with all the features that have been made to improve the bot's functionality, kind of put it above things like replay bot, task bot, and maybe even probably Zbot most likely. Because the thing is, I'm not exactly sure how much Zbot is, but being able to have basically a frame advance in the middle of it, that's just next level. And being able to also render the ticks, that way you can actually have a more accurate jump, or a better way of doing very hard timings on a level. That just puts it above most bots now. Because now there's also another feature I should have mentioned earlier. It's called ticks per second. It basically, like, it's kind of like Minecraft, but it's kind of like where like Minecraft has ticks, like blank ticks equal, because except without meaning that either your connection is probably crap at loading or a service connection is just crap, because like it will be at the same frame rate. You'll have the same frames per second. It's going to be rendering them at a different part, I guess. Just watch. I don't really know. Just watch Absolute's video that he premiered today about it. I'm not really sure how it works, but it's kind of like frame advance, but automatic frame advance. But yeah. Other than that, I think that I'd give it a good 9 out of 10 for this update in particular, specifically, not with all the other features. They all work incredibly well, and I really think Absolute did a very good job on it. So, that's about it for this one. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.